What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash and we are here today to do a beginner's guide. So as soon as you have finally downloaded this game, it's crazy because there's only one thing that you actually need to do. Now, it's not actually in the menu. This is mostly for the people that are on emulator. The first thing that you're going to want to do is X out the game, go back to your home screen and bring it over and uninstall this fucking game. Chill, be easy. It's just jokes. But guys, you gotta remember one thing about this video is that it's gluten-free, easy to digest, and 100% MFO. We're gonna be going into what I will be considering my beginner's guide. And my goal with the beginner's guide, you can tell me if I hit or miss. I did hit over here and you can't even see it. But whether or not I hit or miss, and what I'm trying to do is make it so you guys don't really need a advanced guide. People were like, you should do a beginner's guide, then an advanced guide. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? My thing is that these games are actually, most gacha games are pretty simplistic, right? Like once you get the hang of it, you pretty much are just waiting for new characters and new content. That's all you should be waiting for. You should know what to do on a regular basis. You should know how to start strong. And then I said that in the wrong order. You should know how to start strong and then know what to do on a regular basis. Feel free to look up any other guides that I've gone through so far, but I got my little list here. And it's, of course, this is gonna be time-stamped in the video. So the very first thing that you're gonna have to do when you play this game is going to be the story. You must finish the story. And the reason why I want to show you guys, especially if you're new, as you can see, I have 200 here. Once you beat the game, you can go over here to challenge and all of this opens up. Everything that you see here is only accessible through beating the game. Even this thing, the battle in the raid, which is guild based, we'll be talking about that later. You won't have that available until you reach a certain level, until you beat a certain part of the game. So that's the first thing that you want to do, is beat the game. Anytime that it tells you to use a character, I do think that you should use the character just so you don't have to worry about the character later on. Like, oh, did I have that character? I also will be going through inventory a little bit later. So as far as like throwing away characters, spoiler alert, you really shouldn't. Keep a copy of every character. We'll go through that a little bit later. But just in case, it's kind of hard to find that character. When you click suggest, it's not going to specifically, as you can see, my boy dipped out on me. It's going to just suggest your best. It's not going to specifically suggest that character. So usually you just got that character in the story. They usually just give the character to you. Just use the character so you don't have to worry about that, and it will be checked off, and then all you have to do is do this mission, break 2 times. And when it tells you one of those ones, but eventually you're going to get to a part where it's going to ask you to not do any breaks at all. And those are just when you're going to literally, if you're strong enough, like especially like I said, coming back, you're just going to take a team that's strong as hell and you're literally gonna make sure that none of the elements that are in this part are in your team, and it's very easy to do those. So it's very easy to come back to this stuff. Just go through the game so you unlock everything. You'll also be unlocking, let's see, like the exploration here. These actually get progress. This is an event, but everything here actually levels up. These spirit kings are very good. They're very useful. A lot of these materials here are useful, but they only get better as you actually progress through the game. So everything is kind of tied with beating the game. Also, you'll have more stamina. You'll be able to do more because you use all that EXP. Also, look at this. You can get purple here from the exploration. So your exploration gets better. Let's go to the airship. Your dispatch gets better. Even your daily missions, your daily quests, you actually get 8 per day, but only once you've beaten the game. I remember I was so pissed when I first started. I was like, they say I have to do 5 daily quests a day, but I don't have 5. It was very annoying. So yeah, so that's my first tip. The second tip is going to be pretty basic. Hopefully you guys understand why it needs to be in there. Once you do unlock everything, make sure that you are doing your dailies. Now, some people will look at here and think that these are the dailies. These are the only things that I have to do. Make sure I do this list and I'm good. And then the dailies leak into the weeklies. They're literally the same thing, just that on a, more repetition. But there's a lot of other dailies in the game, and I just kind of wanted to go over them real quickly. They also have the ones in this crevice of the emulator right here. Daily tournament is something that you need to do daily. Heroes challenge is something that you do daily. You should go here daily, the events tab, and you get all this stamina daily. Your count level, obviously that's not daily, it's when you reach those levels. Coliseum is bi-weekly. We spoke about that before as well. Go here, try it out. It's a free pass. You get far, you get far, you do, you don't. The WUG Run Fest is when the Coliseum is offline. They kind of rotate, but it's not something you do daily. It's just something if you feel like doing in general. That's just some of it. Like I said, half the stuff in here is not covered by daily missions. Then you also have these. Now, some of them, they are part of your dailies, like the Ancient Gold Mine is part of the daily. Doing one of the Sanctums, which is either Experience, Spirit, or Blessing. You can do 3 of each one, but you should do them all. They're all really important. Just want to show real quickly. Let's move on in. Plug it in, plug it in. All right. So you're gonna start off with easy, normal, hard, and every time you beat one, you get the next one, right? But also, this is geared also towards the story. So the more that you beat the story, the more further you can go down. Eventually, you're gonna come down to here, and you're going to be able to do the spirit level. The spirit level is going to be based on conditions to enter. Is going to be more difficult based on if you have these characters or not. You can see here that I got the legendary trickster, which is this guy. Will you know who that is? No, you won't. Just pick suggestion, it will pretty much put him there for you. And the legendary enhancer. Wait, what? He's the trickster, and this is the legendary enhancer. Again, do you need to know that? No. Just keep every legendary faded and 3-star, and you can even do the 2 stars if you really want to. Just keep all of them. There's no real reason not to keep them when you're first starting out. So, and this is the reason why, is because later on you're gonna need specific units. As you can see, nothing here, but eventually there are going to be more specific requirements, and some will require, as in here, specific units. The reason why you want to do the special dungeons is because, one, the rewards are better. Holy Water of the Universe is used to bless characters, which is to pretty much increase their star level. You can even get it from the Maniac difficulty, which is the difficulty before it, but you're also going to do his here for the Star of Fate. Star of Fate is to craft, as it says right there, craft faded equipment, which is something that you're gonna need a little bit later. We'll touch on that when we get there. I'm trying to do this in a specific order. All right, so those are all your dailies. So yeah, anything in a challenge, you pretty much want to do all of your challenges. But I wanted to make a separate note. Holy Dragon Grounds is very important as well. That's not the separate note about PvP. I just kind of wanted to harp on PvP a little bit because it's something that you can do daily, right? They only ask you to do 1 fight. If I'm not mistaken, you do 1 fight for the daily, but I just want to say as a separate note that you should be doing all your fights and doing as much. It actually, I don't know if it's going to say it here. No, it doesn't. You get charges every hour. So you can literally keep playing, and then you will get your rank up, and then you will eventually get to here, which is Challenger. And I think that's good. As you can see, Challenger is decent amount of XEs. You're at least gonna get a summon per week from the PvP. I think that's a fair goal to strive for. At least even here, ZEUZ 1. I think that's a pretty good like standard to get to. So at least you're getting a summon per week. And of course, if you want to strive for longer than that, by all means. But at the very least, you should be trying to get at least 1 summon per week from the PvP. Next thing that I wanted to address is going to be the stamina, your Levistones in this game. I don't know why I clicked that either, but as you can see, I'm sitting on a lot of it, and I can even show you, I got even more. I got 77 charges of this stuff. And these stuff do expire. As you can see, some of them are 89 days. This one is for the login. This is 2 days. And you got to get rid of this stuff. The reason why I wanted to mention a little bit later is because the story does not take stamina, which is one of the cooler things. And like I've been trying to say with a lot of other issues that I have with the game, is this is one of the better issues, that doing the story doesn't cost stamina, where a lot of games, in order to advance the plot or in order to play the story, you actually have to continually use stamina, and you run out of stamina, then you can't progress. By every stretch of the imagination, if your characters are strong enough, you can fly through the game in a day, or a day or two, or something of that nature, which is awesome. Really? How do you actually spend your stamina? There's technically 3 ways. The labyrinth is not currently in the game, so this is technically, I can't put in my beginner guide because it's not in the game. But when it does come back, they said they are going to bring it back. That is a great way to spend your stamina. You won't be able to do it on a regular basis because it's going to be difficulty based. Like, you might not be able to pass a stage, you might be able to pass a stage. It's a month-long event. So you might not be able to do it, you know, the first week or the second week, but then maybe on the third week you're stronger, and then you can tackle it, right? And the other one is something that I was hoping was gonna, oh yes, it did pop out. Yeah, baby. We're gonna walk over to it, and that is gonna be these golems. Sometimes you see it's an ancient machine. They're the same thing, to my knowledge. You can also see that these things level up as you complete the story. This one's 180. If I were to go to the previous sectors, it will be cheaper. You can also see the rewards. Can get a ton of rewards at once. The rewards are pretty good, you know, here, but I'll also show you that it's pretty much the same rewards you get from doing exploration. And I'll tell you that, in my opinion, they pop up on a regular basis, but they're random. You don't know when they're gonna pop up or where they're gonna pop up. And you also need a lot of mana just to enter them, especially as you can see, that was 180. Now, you can always do exploration. And I always suggest that if you're gonna be signing off for the day, like as you can see what I was kind of doing here when I left work, I just kind of took on my thing and then let it run down. You will be able to get a lot of rewards, a lot of experience, a lot of gold, and while you're not even playing. Like right now, if I wasn't trying to do dailies and do a video right now, this would be perfect. I have 700 stamina. Let that just go loose on an exploration, and it will do way more than me actually being active in the game. I can let that run while I'm editing. You can let that run while you're at work. There's plenty of stuff you can do, and it's the only way to get your stamina down outside of, like I said, doing golems, which is something that you have to be actively looking at. Now, are the golems hard? No. I used to was so scared to fight them. They're not. They're very easy to do. Don't worry about it. Just your strongest team will probably beat it. But it's better to do exploration. That is my personal opinion, like everything else that's in this video. So yeah, make sure you guys get the little gold clock guy if you want to know how to beat. If you want to know how to beat the gold clock guy, you just have to have people with high hit. You can organize a team to fight him. He pops up once a day. Feel free to do that. I don't think it's necessary. I just fight him until he dies. I also have the Gale costume, which was an event. So if you're new to the game, I don't think you have access to that. You might have to get him at a random summon. But he's not that hard to kill. You just have to have people with high hit. And crit is nice, but you definitely want to make sure that you're actually hitting the target. The next tip is going to be correlating. As you see, I'm trying to combine stuff. I'm trying to combine it. Is the inventory. Now you have two separate inventories. You have the managed heroes and you have the standard inventory. Let's just talk let's first talk about the hero inventory. As you can see, on 156 out of 170, I slowly do increase this. You have to, whatever you're comfortable with is fine. The hero inventory is less important because it has nothing to do with exploration. You don't get heroes when you're doing exploration. To my knowledge anyway, and if you do, you're gonna get like one or two. It's not gonna be a big deal. Like you're never gonna, it's never gonna stop because your heroes are full. All you do is usually get inventory items. As you can see here, I'm hoarding some of these characters even though I'm not using them, because some of these characters, as I just showed before, is that they're going to be in the special dungeons. There might be specified in like the side battle or the hero battles. They might be like, hey, we want you to use this guy. Why? Because fuck you. That's why. We want you to use golden, bro. If you don't use golden, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Same thing with this chick. Specified to a dungeon. Colin, specified to a dungeon. For what reason? That's just, they felt like doing it. You eventually will need to work on these characters to make them strong enough so that you can quick battle, which is a feature as you saw. And you'll probably be able to use it whenever you can't beat a stage. You go to the stage before it, just quick battle it, just so you can get your tries in. And that's kind of why you want to keep all these characters. You don't know how important they are. Also, once you have them at +5, you can then disassemble the crappy characters, which I've already done. Maybe I should have saved a few so you know you guys can see that function. And you know, you get the hero tokens. Hero tokens are going to be used for Door of the Creation, which we'll go into the Door of Creation a little bit later. So that's just a little bit of the hero inventory. Pretty much keep every character. You don't know who you need, and unless you're gonna memorize who the legendary trickster enhancer is, yeah, you might as well just keep every character. Keep at least one copy. You don't have to work on them. Feel free to or not to do, but just keep at least one copy of them, and then you can transcend if you want to invest more onto them. Or most of us transcend heroes just because it gets an achievement, and it just makes those characters stronger. After that, I personally don't transcend just for no reason. So here we are in the actual inventory that matters. You want to, I'm not gonna tell you to max this out, but I'm going to strongly suggest, I really should do it right now. I should do it in this video and put the money where your mouth is. But I'm kind of like a, what is it, a micromanaging? Like I like to do it in certain cases. But as you can see here, I'm 276 out of 300. If I was to do what I said before, and now my stamina is gone, right? 700 exploration, that's not going to be able to finish. I'm going to be getting items because, as you can see, this is just the gear. Also attached to the gear because for some fucking reason in this game, your equipped gear is part of your inventory, which makes literally no sense. It doesn't. Most games, they don't do that. And again, this is why I tell you guys, it's important to complain about certain things. It's a stupid system. So now, as you can see, now we're getting out of the gear, part of my inventory. All of this, all these currencies, and even these stupid things, all part of your inventory. And as you're on exploration, it's just gonna keep stacking and stacking. But like I said, you get gold and you get good items. It's not like some of these items are bad. It's not like you don't want them. It's just that it will stop and then you won't be able to continue. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to be very cautious on, you know, expanding your inventory, especially once you have a lot of stamina, when you're high leveled and you have a lot of stamina through events or through playing the game regularly. You're gonna need to get your explorations down so you can level up first and foremost and get more stuff. What I like to do before going on an exploration is I disassemble. I go 1, 2. It'll give me all my blue and green gear. I personally do not need blue gear, but I wanted to say to you guys, this is a tip. I want to leave it as another separate tip. As one of the 10 is to keep your blue gear. You don't need to keep the green. Keep your blue gear though, because the blue gear you can take off for free. It takes ZEUZ to take off yellow. It takes gold to take off purple, but it's free to take off blue. So technically for your crappy characters that you just want to be somewhat strong, give them blue gear. But as you see, when it takes up space in your inventory, so you don't want to keep the blue gear for a while. You want to eventually switch over to nothing but purple, in my opinion, and then eventually later in the round, and then later down the line you're going to want to just have all yellows. I'm assuming, you know, obviously mid-maxing. I'm starting to collect yellows and I got a ton of purple gear. That's all I'm going for nowadays. That's all I'm looking for, is nothing but yellow, purple. That's it. So try not to invest too much into that blue gear. Get it like a few levels. You don't need it to be that strong. I passed through the game just fine without like 6-starring the blue gear. You don't need to do that. It's a waste. Next up is going to be the Air Squadron, aka the guild. You want to join a guild because there's a couple rewards that are based into it. This one is the Air Squadron battle. This is literally just fighting in that thing that I showed you, the dailies. Make sure that you're doing the dailies. These are part of the dailies. Every day you get to do a fight as long as your guild is up level. I think they have to be level 5. And as long as you daily attend, you'll be getting 10 ZEUZ as well. So it's pretty much a win-win. There's really no reason not to do it. A lot of the stuff that you do, it doesn't even matter whether or not you're very strong or not. It's as long as you actually participate in the guild activities. So it's literally free. Buy the guild and you just profit. Honestly, you just find a guild and join it. It's that easy. Now we are here at the beautifulness that is the recruit. I let this last, or not last, but one of my last points is because it's kind of a fiasco. So now that you've been playing through the game, right, you probably have units that you're a little bit more aware of that you want. You may or may not have done the selection. You can literally just hold on to the selection summon for as long as you want, really. Choose certain characters. Now, I'm not going to tell you what character to pick. There are strong characters, I think. Also, there's some characters that are not in the selection summon, from what I heard. I don't know if the generals, aka the unique passive units, are in the selective summon. Someone would have to let me know. I personally don't know that, and I can't check. All in all, just pick a character that you really want, whether it be because of power or because you are just like the way the design is. You're going to be stuck with that character for a long time. The ratings are generally okay when it comes to certain characters, so just be mindful of that. And if all else fails, just pick Bathory. She's like the strongest character in the game. So if she's in selective summon, just saying. So also, when it comes down to this, I wanted to say as a note in recruiting, regardless of, now what I wanted to say is that you should make sure that you have a Dragon Blood character. The way that the Dragon Blood characters work, and we call them Dragon Blood because of the passive, but the way that these first Guardian characters work are just so strong for PvE. I can care less about how they work in PvP. There's a lot of ways to counter them. I've tried my best to expose some of them. There's the basic way of just nuking the fuck out of them whenever you see them. But all in all, they're really good for PvE. And they're so strong for PvE, it's kind of hard not to tell a person that is beginning or eventually like they just played a little bit and didn't know, you know, oh, what else should I be doing? Get a Dragon Blood character. Now, even though I might not like Blood Moon, Black Moon Baraka. If you don't have a character and you can pity summon him right now, I would say you should definitely do it. Or if you want to wait into the next one, whatever, just get one, whatever. I know that they also have this string that's coming out in a month, which is completely useless for a beginner's guide to be like, hey man, start the game off, wait 44 days, and then you'll be able to. Terrible advice, terrible. So you can easily full pity this from the beginning. A lot of people full pitied Zeon when he was there. He was the first banner in the game. So similar to that, like, but just getting at least one is very, very strong. It's gonna help your account by a lot. Also, these banners, these initial banners here, are better for you just because of the fate mileage. You're gonna slowly but surely, you get a fated hero, which is a 5-star pretty much in the game, by just summoning on these banners, and they're synergized with this. As you can see, 70 here and 70 here. It's the same thing. So as long as you're summoning on either or, you're gonna be getting fated characters. So eventually your fated heroes list is going to kind of just skyrocket. So the selective summon is not as important. That's why it's like you might as well pick someone you like, or pick someone that you think is really strong, because you're gonna start getting fateds on a regular basis as you summon. But I would suggest not summoning here, because all you're getting is just fateds. I don't know if the rates are better. I highly doubt that they are. No, they are not. There's literally I mean, it's cool that kudos, I actually did not know this about this game, is that Black Moon Baraka is already here and all of the other fated cores are actually here. I did not know that. So I could actually always just summon on this, which most games don't do that. Most games, their standard banner usually gets updated later. So big kudos to Exos for that their standard banner is updated with the most current stuff. That's actually really good of them to do that. So shout outs to them for that. And just so to be transparent about the strings, now I am a big advocate of the string banners. I do like them because you slowly but surely will be able to get the characters that you want. And the cool part about the strings, in my opinion, is that you see all the characters in it, and if you keep summoning on them, you will slowly but surely get the specific characters. You'll be getting the dupes that you want. Well, that's pretty much it. The dupes that you want, and the characters or skins that you want, the faded cores that you want. The only problem is that you have all this down here, these semi, pretty crappy characters that you're gonna have to go through the wave of summoning, and you don't get the same bonuses as when you're here. But you can target out very, very strong characters, as you can see, like Rachel, who's very strong, Bathory, who I just mentioned. I would almost say, like, if you wanted to just summon on this band, I think this is probably the best string in the game, to be completely honest with you, just because of these characters are not that bad. This costume is whatever, but this is like literally probably the strongest thing in the game. This one I think is the second best. Jafrakin is awesome, Baraka is awesome, his base kit, and Lepin, I'm pretty sure she's okay. I don't remember specifically what that skin does, but pretty good. This one also has Anastasia in it, really good healer, one of the best in the business. And these characters also are pretty good. And this guy is really good. This is, like I said, this is probably the second best banner second best string in the game. So if I was to suggest anyone, if you guys are gonna go on this banner and say screw the current banner, I just want to get specifically good characters, I would say go on this one or go on Jafrakin. These characters are okay, but yeah, no. Into heroes, we're gonna go back into heroes just for a little bit to make up another point, and that point is going to be careful who you 6-star. As you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 6-stars, and I've been playing for a while. It's like, wait, you only have 4? Actually, that is a lie. I have more than 4. These are my 6-stars. So I made 5 myself. I made Redley a 6-star. I made Anastasia a 6-star. I made Maggie recently 1. I made Shafrakin 1, and I made Adam 1. These 2 were from the Door Creations, which is our last and final part. Spoiler alert! Last part is going to be Door of the Creation because I feel like it's the most complex. But be wise who you 6-star is, because your strongest characters just need to be prioritized. Sometimes these games, I feel really bad, is that they let you do like a 6-star and you think that it's the currency or the way that you 6-star is easy to do because you might have it on hand and you might not understand how you got it. You might not know how difficult it is to actually obtain those materials, and then you're gonna realize that it's very difficult to obtain those materials. The material that we're talking about in question is the Holy Water of the Universe. See if I can find it. I actually have 1 left. And as it says here, you can get them from the Blessing of Sanctum and Expiration. I have a really big issue with this. Maybe I'll make a separate video about it for you guys that are vets that are watching this video for some fucking reason. This needs to not be such a big RNG drop. It is literally the only way currently in the game that you can 6-star a character. You need 2 of them, and it's hard to get 1. It has been proven that when they drop like in exploration, or if they drop in the golem fight, that you get like 2, which is cool, but it's still a rare drop. And for something that's tied to something very important in the game, which is 6-starring, it shouldn't be a hassle. And the reason why it is a hassle to begin with is because you guys probably guessed it. If I go in here somewhere, you know, boom, they're in some of the shops. They're in some of the incentives. I think not the weekly. Oh no, look, yeah, see, weekly. I can get 2 a week if I wanted to for $27. That is really bad practice. It's terrible. It's terrible practice, to be completely honest with you. It pretty much paywalls a really important thing. Can you get the Holy Water of Universe through events? Yes, if they decide to give you an event. Sometimes the event is going to be based on the summoning currency over other things. So I'm just wanting to warn you guys, until we can maybe put the hammer onto their head and get them to either make this a craftable thing or to make it more common of a drop, you have to be very careful on who you 6-star in this game. Just wanted to make that a note, because I'm not trying to mislead people. Like, 6-star whoever you want, or 6-star the character you think is the best, but that might not have been the best decision. My first 6-star was Anna. Like I said, the Dragon Blood card. If you ask me, your first 6-star should be your best Dragon Blood character. If you have multiple, then your best one, or whatever your first one is. 6-star them, because they're gonna carry you. They're gonna super carry you. Just saying. And you're here all the way at the end. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And again, hit up those comment sections if you think that I'm missed out on something, or something. It's possibly that I didn't miss out on something, but maybe you want to elaborate on something more that I maybe didn't touch on that greatly, or something of that nature. Now, here is the loveliness that is the door creation. I have a separate video on this and a lot of the stuff that you can do here, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I just want to say that the hero tokens, like I said, from disassembling heroes, you can come here after you get about 1200. I wouldn't go until you have 1200, because you're going to need to make 2 of them, and then eventually you can go combine, and you're going to be able to do hero recruit. You're going to be able to do this 6-star hero re-recruit, because those heroes are going to come at 6-star, and it's going to give you the ability to have a chance, not a definite chance, to get a 6-star faded. Now that's awesome, as I just told you how hard it is to make a 6-star. But what's also great, as you can see, I had 2 legendaries that were 6-star as well. Those were also from this process as well. So you can even save Holy Water of the Universe by getting these characters to 6-star. So I think that, you know, it's a really good process to keep your eye out for, and this is where I think you should spend your hero tokens. You can spend your hero tokens in other places, but I just think it's better to save up to do this feature. The other features, as far as this is just like the current event currency. So yeah, you know, whatever, go here, spend it, summon. Same thing with the clocks that you get. They're literally just for summoning when you're coming in here. The only discrepancy or argument that some people might have is the weapons thing here, which are 2 separate things, is whether or not you should come here. This thing does have a mileage, and I just want to bring this up because this is a beginner's guide, and there are 2 places to get these, and these are for faded stuff. As you saw, the yellow gear, you can get it here with a roll with 80 of this currency, so 50. If you do the math, it's 4,000 in order to quote unquote pity a faded equipment weapon. This one has a very similar thing. Half pretty much of it is double of what it costs to do it here in the Airship Forge. The Airship Forge is where you would come in here and then you would do it for half the price, but you guarantee get 1. The only reason why I wanted to specify that I don't like the Airship Forge, I used to actually vouch for Airship Forging. You get your 1 guaranteed a month, and then later on, one reason why you probably can't do that is because as you're beginning, you might not be able to get as the 100, which I have a Holy Dragon Ground guide. I'm not gonna go through all that shit in this video, you're bugging. I'll put a card, you guys can go check that out. The reason why, and I'm just gonna do 22 summons here just to showcase it, just so you guys can see it, is that you're gonna get blues out of this. You get no greens. There's no greens in this on these banners. or on this thing. There's no blues. You're gonna get purples, which as we discussed earlier are really good, and you have a chance to get fadeds. Not only do you have a chance to get fadeds, oh, I keep clicking this, sorry. You have a chance to get exclusive fadeds that these, if they go on to that specific character, if you have them, will give them a bonus. And if you don't have them, you can still give them to a different character. So in my opinion, they're a little bit better to get than to, oh wait. Turn the volume on just in case. So look, technically I got shafted, but I got a bunch of blues, which you can use. You can also disassemble if you want to. And then I got a purple gear. Awesome. Getting purple, especially in the beginning, is pretty rough. And then I'm gonna do the other one as well. 29 summons on this. And that's just for the weapons, the one I just did, and these are all for all the armor slots in the game. And as you can see, I got a faded thing. Lucky, it's luck. Don't be like, oh, I'll do it, I'll get the same amount. And look, we only got one. What did I do? 29? I got one. So boom, we got a this shit, whatever that is. We got one. Cool. But as you can see, what else did I get? I got a bunch of purples as well, and then you're gonna use that for your account as well. And then you can use the blues if you need to use the blues. And if you're not, you disassemble them to get more purples. Where do you get the other purples that I keep talking about? In the exchange shop, right here. So boom, as you can see, I got like 2,000. Now I can get more purples. Keep my purple thing up so I don't have to ever go back to blue. I don't ever want to go back to blue. And I guess you can buy this stuff too, but you know, maybe later down the line when I have enough purples, I'll just start buying this stuff because this is crafting things. Might be more beneficial for me to do that. Like I said here, you can also spend on the hero tokens. You can get these stuff. I do think that this is not that bad to buy, but the whole thing of getting a free 6-star kind of eliminates a lot of this process in general. A lot of this stuff that you can just over time eliminate it by just getting 2 of those pures and fusing them in. So hope that helps. The solar steels are for multitude of things, but it's, in my opinion, not as important. Yes, they have the unlock potential. I know I'm not putting that into the beginner's guide. That's a decision that you're gonna look to possibly later down the road, or possibly never at all. But we also have a video on that. Just go search for it in the channel. But I don't think it's something that you really need to be concerned about, because a lot of the characters are good on their base alone. They don't need to be enhanced further for you to do good in the game. Hopefully you guys feel confident to play the game. Hopefully I did a good job. I think beginner's guides or any type of guide of any sort are always difficult, because you're always going to feel like you left something out. Again, I'll say it for the 15th time. If you think I left anything out, or something that you feel is a really good thing, like, oh, by the way, this is something that I always do, and you know, you could help me. I'm still learning. We're all still learning. You know, I just did that gear guide the other day, yesterday, and people were like, oh, I didn't even know that there were Guardian Stone bonuses and stuff like that. It's not. There's so much stuff in the game that we need to bring to light so the game looks better, and the bad stuff we need to bring to light so the game gets better. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, but just remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.